inside the On-Center War Memorial Arena, right in front of Dave & Buster's Field here in downtown Syracuse. It's the Syracuse Silver Knights against the Rochester Lancers in the final day of the MISL season. The Knights up 8-5 over the Lancers so far after a 2-goal effort by Canardo Forbes. Most of the scoring coming in the second frame as Syracuse won that one 8-2. The scoring was started off in the first quarter with 1 minute to go as Edgar Bartholomew had a blast outside of the arc for a 3-point goal. But as it stands, Syracuse leads 8-5 with 1 half to go. And Mike, it's a final out in Missouri. The Comets have beaten the Wave 9-4. And right now, Baltimore leads Pennsylvania 18-2. So if the results stand right now, at least for Baltimore, Syracuse will be playing the Blast in their first semifinal round.
So let's just face it and let's just say it. The playoffs are set. And I don't think Michelle Millwood could be any more excited than to be playing against his former team, the Baltimore Blast. And I'm sure Michelle Millwood will be looking forward to knock them out of the playoffs and have a Baltimore Blast team not make it to the finals.
It'll be a good matchup for Syracuse as, these two teams have played fantastic soccer so far against each other. The only high-scoring game, I guess, would be that 10-5 loss by the Silver Knights in Baltimore. Close games throughout.
Well, really, that 12-10 match, the 10-5 match was one that really Baltimore kept the Silver Knights out of. But they've got the stingiest defense in the league. And if the Silver Knights can get stingy themselves, they might be able to get through that first round of the playoffs.
Long shot in the back of the net. He's got 2. His 3rd on the year. That's another 3 from Edgar. And he ties the game up at 8. 14:08 left in the third quarter.
Now you look at Edgar, and he only has 3 goals on the season. Well, you don't know about it. You'd say, okay, he's only got 3 goals in the season. This guy's played 6 years professionally. He's played with the Buffalo Blizzard. He helped the Kicks to a championship years ago. He's been in the league. He's been an outdoor player. He's been playing professionally for a very long time, and Edgar can score goals, and this is a place where he's shining right now. And with 2 goals in 1 game, and he's only got 3 goals on the season. Edgar played for the Toronto Lynx, and I played against him in his rookie year when he played there. And just to see him still flourishing in his career 15 years later.
Edgar saving the best for the final day of the MISL season. That was a nice pass by Neto, trying to find Chantel. His shot was just wide, and now we're tied 8-8 with 13:15 left to go in the third quarter. Just as we were talking about the playoffs, you got to think that Syracuse can't be looking ahead to that game because they want to go into that series hot with 2 wins to end their campaign.
Well, all in all, this game is meaningless when it comes to playoff picture or anything else. It's really just a pride thing right now. And when you get professional players playing on the same field together against each other, it's going to be a battle, and no one really sits down regardless of what the situation is. And you can see this Rochester Lancers team, the best they can be this year is 7-13, and they'd like 7-13 a lot better than 6-14.
Pass in front off the dispossessed by Bordeaux. It's out and away.
And I'm sure Tommy Tanner and the Silver Knights like the sound of 12-8 a lot better than
They do.
11-9. So
LJ Papaleo on the ball. He's taken down by Jake Schindler. Papaleo on the ball. He gets its turn, a little touch, shot on and blocked away by Sotilli. Reloads for Bo, his shot way over. Now it'll be a goalkeeper distribution. But a nice turn by Papaleo to develop an opportunity. 12:03 to go in the third quarter. Knights and Lancers tied at 8 after another Edgar Bartholomew blast from three-point range tied it up after the Lancers were down by 3, 8-5 to start this half. Popped away by Fauski only to Chantel's feet. Collect for Forbes. Now to Toby. Chantel down the line for Manfoot, inside to Toby. He gives it back to the 19-year-old.
Darren Toby had so much space in front of him. I'm surprised he did that 1-2 with Manfoot. He could have just taken that ball, just brought it right into the box, and then made a defender commit. And I thought that was a great opportunity for Toby, but he's a defender going into the offensive zone and just a little uncomfortable. Hey, let me give it back to Manford. Although he's 19, he's the one more comfortable in this area. I was just sitting here wondering how much product is in Foskey's hair in order to keep it up like that.
Well, he usually doesn't do his hair on the road games, but with Rochester having so many road fans, he decided to bring out the hair gel. It's got to take a lot. It's in the middle for Papaleo, but his touch has it away, and Chantel cleans up the mess and gets it wide for Elanio right in front of Tommy Tanner.
I mean, Foskey's having his best season ever with the Lancers. 32 points, 13 goals, 4 assists. So I don't think Josh Reif really cares what hairdo he's bringing.
I'm just glad that the Seattle University product is producing on the field. It's almost a giveaway for the Knights to expose, but helter-skelter defending right now. It's in for Boughton. Wide for Cole. Cole cutting in on his right. He finds the back of the net. He scores. His second. And the Lancers lead by 2 with 9:40 to go.
That little move that Cole made, he sold the entire defense of the Silver Knights that Cole was going to play that ball to his left, and both defenders from the Silver Knights bought that sale. Right here, you can see that ball comes. Good ball movement by the Lancers. Cole brings it across, does a little move there, a little stutter step, and really Vitali thought that ball was going to get slipped into that lower corner. Cole sold that move. Vitali bought it. Cole had it was just one-on-one. Cole versus O'Quinn, and Cole blasted that to the side netting. I thought that was a nice goal by the Lancers. Some good ball movement there, and a great finish by Cole.
O'Quinn unable to get his paw to that one. Slavisa, Povic, he shoots, he scores! Slav with his 7th against the Lancers. He just loves scoring in this throughway rivalry. He ties the game up with 9:15 left in the third quarter.
And that's experience against inexperience. And Ubi Parapovic on Morningstar. I mean, right here, it's Ubi Parapovic, 1v1 on Morningstar. Morningstar just got turned. He really didn't get tight enough. You saw he was backing up before Ubi Parapovic was even near him, giving him way too much room, and almost gave him the inside, although trying to force him to the outside. And that's A lot of experience versus a lot of inexperience, and that's Morningstar getting some time here in the MISL. Got a little lesson there from Slavisa Uba Parapovic.
Slav finishing it on his lethal left foot. Blocked in front by Chantel. Ball still held up in the Rochester zone. Alenio trying to get through.
And you look at the guys producer for the Lancers tonight, Edgar and Cole. Both guys started the game with 1 goal and 1 assist.
A new position for them. Now, Syracuse in the offensive third. Chantel off the boards, trying to find Neto in front. He couldn't connect. Step over by Bordeaux. He's being harassed by Salas, and he picks up a foul. 8:11 to go in the third quarter. Knights up 11-10 after Slav's 3-point goal. Put him up by that point. Toby with it. In for Neto, and his pass is across the field for Antonio Manfoot. A high foot from Elliot Fauski, and now it'll be a dead ball situation for the Knights. Centrally, it's held by Neto. Wide for Darren Toby. Toby, a block on by Schindler. He'll keep the ball and go all the way back.
And there's another situation. You just wish Toby had a little bit more instinctual play when he's in that offensive third. He takes that shot just a step sooner. There's no block there. And then earlier doing that 1-2 with Manfoot. If Toby could be a little bit more instinctual when he's in the attacking third, he'd have himself a few more goals for this Silver Knights team.
The volley was Doug Miller developing that opportunity. It was in front for Dargu.
And then that being said, that's where Darren Toby's his strongest. Just he sees where that ball's coming off the boards, and he's going to defend it. Feeling Dargett coming from behind. Nothing Dargett could do except go through Darren Toby there. But you could see, even in that play, Foskey, they all know that Doug Miller's going to try to get behind the defense right away, and Foskey's ball kind of floated just a little bit too much. But that's the play that they're going to go at. That's the play that this Lancers team is going to look for. And if Doug Miller is part of this Lancers team next year, you know he's going to be in that same situation every single game. Maurizio Salas, same thing as well.
2 instrumental figures for the Lancers. As now another one, the Mohican Warrior. His pass intercepted by Gennaro Forbes. Slav trying to get on his left. Cutting pass into the middle, couldn't connect with LJ Papaleo. Ahead, it's Miller! What a shot and a goal! Doug Miller scores his 3rd against Syracuse this year. His 8th on the year. And now the Lancers take a 1-point lead.
And that was a foot race between Marco Chantel and Doug Miller. And Doug Miller beat him out on that. And Chantel's got so much more strength. I think he hesitated just a little bit, not really realizing. I mean, he should know by now how fast Doug Miller is. Doug Miller is lightning fast. And even at Doug Miller's age of 44 years old, he's going to beat you 1v1 a lot of times in a foot race. And Chantel, although strong, with some speed himself, I guess he just underestimated that explosive speed from Doug Miller, and he got a step ahead of Chantel, and you see that snap by Doug Miller on that left peg, just whang, right away it happens. Great finish by Doug Miller.
It was a smooth finish by Miller, making it his 8th of the year.
I mean, playing with and against Dougie for years, he just floats right on that line, and the outdoor game floats right on that offsides line, and he just floats right behind defenders, and that's a perfect example of where he did it again. Got his body in front of Chantel with his speed, and Doug Miller is going to hit that goal 9 out of 10 times. 1v1 on any goalkeeper in the league.
Been in that situation enough times. to know how to finish it. Drafted in 1991 in the indoor game by the KC Comets. And now he's still playing. The Rochester Lancers, after quite a career in soccer.
Man-foot wasn't even a thought in 1991. He wasn't even a thought.
Wasn't even born.
Not just born, he wasn't even a thought.
That's true. Maybe he was a thought.
And there it again. Here it is again.
Taken away.
Doug Miller floating behind that defense.
The finish not off as O'Quinn was equal to the task. Bryan with the save.
Jake Schindler tried to make some separation between the defender. Made the defender make a decision, leaving Doug Miller wide open. Plays that ball just a little bit behind Doug Miller. Doug Miller still gets that shot off. Brian O'Quinn had to make a great save in order for it not to go in.
And the Lancers will take a timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 5:55 to go in the third quarter. Knights trail by 1. We'll be back. More Major Indoor Soccer League action after this.
All season long, the Silver Knights have visited schools in the Syracuse area, delivering our national teamwork and league message. This program has been made possible by our partner, Chatham Manufacturing, producers of a variety of health and beauty products, such as Gold Bond, Allegra, Icy Hot, and Rolaids. Thank you, Chatham, for supporting this outstanding in-school program.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Back inside the War Memorial Arena in downtown Syracuse. Knights up by 1. Go down by 1. After a Doug Miller strike. Ball held in front is now an opportunity was on there, but it was taken away. Salas and Millwood battling with it. As Salas picks up the foul, Millwood tried to get the ball played up ahead for Corey Elanio, but he had to bring it back, put it where the infraction occurred.
And this is an interesting shift. I think this is the first shift that we've seen Maurizio Salas and Doug Miller on the same line. They've been pretty much switching on and off with each other. And this is the first shift we've seen them on the field together.
A different position for Doug Miller to be in, as it seems as if Salas is playing a little higher than the 44-year-old. Pushes down Chantel. Now Millwood gets his turn on. Shot was a little wide. He was in one-on-one on Sotilli, but he couldn't test the goalkeeper. Elanio has man-foot on his left. Shot on and deflected.
I think even Millwood was surprised how much space he opened up for himself with that turn. Such a great turn by Millwood.
Out wide, Elanio. Pass in front for Millwood. On the line, saved. Apparently, they will call it a save for Sotilli.
What a great save by Mark Sotilli. Great play by the Silver Knights. Elanio threaded that ball right to Millwood, and all Millwood had to do was put something on it, and he did, just not enough. And Mark Sotilli came over and was able to save that right on the line.
Good save by Sotilli as he recovered well on a nice pass. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Rochester leading 12-11. Zahn and Chantel has it collected, wearing the captain's armband as Nelson Santana isn't in for this game. Neto in the far corner, back heels it in front. Vittorio Petrera! His second goal of his career. He scored his first against Pennsylvania, and now we can celebrate one against a Central New York rival.
And that's a good goal by Vittorio Petrera. If you watch the play develop again, the clearance by Cole went to Chantel. Chantel knocks it across to Petrera. Petrera started that offensive attack, puts it into the corner to Neto. Neto just does a great job right here holding that ball off. And then just that one time, and there's Petrera. He got himself in the right position right after that. It's a good assist by Darren Toby as well. Was it Darren Toby who got that assist? I didn't see that.
Looked as if it was Darren Toby. If it is, that would be Toby's very first assist of the year. Clangs in front, and Brian O'Quinn collects on the carom.
And I believe that's the 4th or 5th lead change in this game. And here we go. At first I thought this was going to be an atypical Rochester Lancers Silver Knights game, and it's starting to become a typical where it's just non-stop back and forth.
Canardo with the lollipop. He takes the shot, and it's saved on a bobble by Mark Sotilli. Long hurl ahead, trying to find the run of Miller, but Vitali with a smart head. He nods it forward for Bo. Collected in Canardo. Long pass ahead. LJ Papaleo can't receive it, but the clearance isn't convincing. It's on for O'Quinn. Chantel cutting against the green, and now the Knights still have it.
And there's that situation again. Maybe no one told Toby to turn, but if he did turn, they were in a 3v2 situation with Uba Parapovic and Papaleo already on the flanks. A perfect 3v2 situation with an inexperienced Morningstar, one of the guys in the back.
Starting to show a little bit of his inexperience in the offensive zone, as now LJ Papaleo is battling a couple Rochester defenders, and he's down on the ground. 1:49 to go in the third quarter. Syracuse up 13-12, and now with a dead ball situation.
Looks like Mark Sotilli has a bloody nose.
He'll go down to the ground, and they'll need attention on that. So far, I mean, it's been a back and forth game, 13-12. Right now, the score with 1:49 left into the third quarter. Mark Sotilli going down right here, but he's been playing great so far, keeping the Lancers in this game.
Well, remember, the only game that the Silver Knights have lost to the Lancers this year is when Mark Sotilli was in goal for the Lancers. So maybe he's the guy that they need in goal in order for the Lancers to beat the Silver Knights. Because for the most part, over the last 3 seasons, the Silver Knights have gotten the best of the Lancers, and this throughway rivalry just goes back and forth every single game. But Tommy Tanner and the Silver Knights getting the better of the Lancers. Inconsistent Lancers, let's say. Team that just different strategies every game, different coaches each season, and that's the difference. You see a consistency in the style of play. When you start talking about style of play, the players get used to it. And this Lancers team is, you could see different mixes.
Oops.
A little bit of Andrakiism, a little bit of a Heshism, and now you got the Reifism in there. So
a lot of isms.
And this is a good ball to Canardo Forbes if it happens.
Dead ball situation for the Knights. Lack creativity, and it's banged out all the way for O'Quinn.
And you can see Michelle Millwood's frustration for himself. He's saying to himself, I know I can do better in this situation.
Bo has it on the near side, shadowed by Fauski. His pass ahead for Millwood, taken away, but only to the feet of the Jamaican Canardo Forbes. Forbes pops it ahead. Millwood can't nod it forward, and so Tilly collects. He goes for Salas, who had Domenico Vitali rushing on his back. That'll be a foul.
And there's no reason for that foul. And that's, rookie of the year there. But that's the rookie in Domenico Vitali. You got Maurizio Salas going away from your goal towards the boards. Just let him bring it down. There's no reason to try to win that or push Maurizio Salas.
Salas trying to center it. It ends up in the corner for Dargu, but Bo digs it out. Long pass ahead for Manfoot. It's a foot race. Goes all the way back for the Lancer goalkeeper. And triangle passing gets him out. Held up by Edgar, riding 2 goals in this ball game. Sent in front, Millwood. Can't redirect it on goal.
Now those are the instincts you're looking for from a forward, and that ball came off the boards, and Millwood knew exactly where it was going to be off those boards and just couldn't get enough weight on it in order to put that in the back of the net. Stretches out. What a great asset to this Silver Knights, Michelle Millwood.
Been good all year for Syracuse. A dump in with 5 seconds to go.
And we've said it all season. He's constantly teaching, adding his experience to the team, and he's teaching the young guys how to be better, and you can see it just translates throughout the team.
3 seconds to go. Shot on goal, but it's caught out of the air by Brian O'Quinn. So after 45 minutes of soccer, Syracuse Silver Knights have a 1-point edge. After a couple goals from Conardo Forbes, and a finish by Syracuse puts them up by 1. We'll be back with the final quarter left in this ball game. Syracuse Silver Knights lead by 1. More indoor soccer league action when we come back.
The Syracuse Silver Knight dance team. And now, fans, please welcome Oscar Vaquero, and from Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central New York, as some of his bigs and some of his littles have special Silver Knight t-shirts that they're ready to throw out. Who wants a t-shirt?
Final action of Syracuse and Rochester in installment number 6 of the MISL season in the MISL's final day. Just checking the wire, it's official. The Baltimore Blast have beaten the Pennsylvania Roar 18-2. And with the other result of Missouri beating Milwaukee 9-4, the Syracuse Silver Knights will be playing the Baltimore Blast, the MISL's reigning champions, in the first round of the 2014 playoffs. Right now in this game, the Syracuse Silver Knights up 13-12 over the Rochester Lancers. 15 minutes to go in the fourth quarter after Vittorio Petrera put Syracuse up by 1 point.
Wow, you see a Milwaukee team only score 4 points. I mean, they're the second leading scoring team in the league other than Missouri. And Missouri with 338 points for the season and Milwaukee with 328. You're very surprised that they only put 4 points up. You almost think that maybe they wanted to play Missouri in the first round of the playoffs. Although I think that works to the advantage of Milwaukee, but in terms of travel, it makes it a lot easier for all the teams in the league in terms of travel, and you'd have a Milwaukee team. You know, you've got bus rides now instead of flights. So
yep, helps them out. But Milwaukee has struggled with Missouri this entire season. The Comets have always given the Wave a game. Beat them last week as well. Forbes over the ball, and now Slav has it. Long blast, way over the top. Go in for a distribution. 14:28 to go in the fourth quarter. Long hurl. Knotted on for Bowden, but scooped out of the air by Brian O'Quinn. He leads ahead for Bo.
You know, a name you haven't heard a lot tonight was Gary Boughton, and Gary Boughton has 37 points on the season, and that could be the first or second time you've mentioned his name tonight.
It's true. Leading this team, but right there, a blue card for Big Bo. He'll head to the box for the first time we've seen this game. Anybody head into the sin bin, and he'll be in there for 2 minutes. So that means the penalty kill will be on for the Silver Knights, which has the second best penalty kill in the league at 79%, while the Rochester Lancers have the league's worst power play. Shot on and saved by O'Quinn, and the nod ahead by Doug Miller. Safely caught.
And the penalty kill for the Silver Knights, they've got 78.8% on the season versus 79% for Baltimore, so by 0.2%. And this Silver Knights team has seen 33. You got a Nelson Santana, so you're in the penalty box a lot. So you've got 33 penalty kills. I'd be interested to see what Baltimore would be like if they had to do 33 penalty kills versus the 19 that they've done on the season. So this Silver Knights team is virtually tied for first on the penalty kill in the league. Very good penalty kill squad.
But the man in the box might affect this penalty kill unit, as usually Bo's out there anchoring the side, as right now it's Manfoot, Toby, Vitali, and Petrera on. A little bit of inexperience, but the save by O'Quinn, that's always good if you're a penalty kill unit. 1 minute left in the kill. Fauski's pass is blocked away by Manfoot.
Well, we always see Manfoot at the top of that diamond, and I'm very surprised that they put Petrera in replacement of Nelson Santana really at the bottom of that diamond. Vitali's got a lot of experience on this penalty kill. Toby as well, but I would think that I'd see Toby in the back of the diamond versus Petrera.
He leaves it open, and it's in the back of the net. We haven't said his name much. Gary Boughton scores to put Rochester up by 1.
And that was a very nice power play by the Rochester Lancers. Good ball movement, really making the Silver Knights work for almost the entire penalty kill just for that. And that was a moment right there where you got Doug Miller on the ball, and here comes Gary Boughton. Domenico Vitale just got himself caught in no man's land, where Gary Boughton came out and was able to get some space and not allow Vitale to come out on him. He just really a good power play by the Rochester Lancers.
Penalty kill unit got a little stretched, and then the Lancers took advantage. They lead 14-13 with 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's Neto cutting across. Forbes! What a finish! On the ground and in the back of the net. Canardo finishes his hat trick.
If this guy is not making a statement to the league that I am the most dangerous midfielder in this league, then I don't know what he's doing out there, because he's making a statement to say, Tommy Tanner, keep me around because I want to be your man. And he's doing a great job proving to Tommy Tanner and the rest of this league that he's a force to be reckoned with. What a ball here by Neto, all the way across. Canardo Forbes bringing it across. And don't forget, again, where this play started from. Canardo Forbes had the ball all the way in their own defensive third. He started this attack way back about 10 seconds before that goal was scored. What a finish. Nothing Mark Sotilli could do. What a blast on the ground. Perfect form, everything.
Magnificent from the Jamaican, and now another opportunity developing for the Knights. Bordeaux, he couldn't connect with Neto as the pass was just behind him. But he was in and on goal. They'll have to wait. Chantel has the ball now. Alenio. It's been a bunch of call and response goals last couple minutes. Seems every time the Lancers score, the Knights answer back.
Yeah, and I think that last play there, well, that was another opportunity lost by the Silver Knights to pull ahead 17-14. And Neto usually puts that ball in a better spot. Being a forward himself, he knows where he wants the ball. And if he could have put that ball just a little bit ahead of Nate Bordeaux instead of behind him, that would have been 17-14, no doubt.
Ahead, Chantel. He has the ball. Collected and taken away by Salas. He'll take a long blast, and it's pawed away by O'Quinn. Forbes will now begin.
And that deathly left foot of Maurizio Salas would get any Silver Knight goalie, Brian O'Quinn, a little bit nervous when Maurizio Salas has that much space
Ahead.
with the ball on his left foot.
Cutting pass, trying to find Vitale. It's to him now. He'll take a shot off the barrier. Collected so far by the Lancers, but they might be in a little bit of trouble.
And that's good defense by Bo Yelovach. He just stands in his position, and as that ball got served to Enrique, he stepped right up and got tight right away. Great display of defense right there.
As he had Doug Miller wide open, almost cherry picking right there. He's on the ball right now. They call a handball on the forward.
Doug Miller furious with Mark Bailey, trying to figure out how could you call a handball on me in that situation.
It's on for Ganardo. Head now Slav. Taken away. Only for a second though. It's on for Elenio. His shot deflected. Slavica Ubiparapovic with an overhead kick, and it's wide. Elenio again. His shot away.
Elenio still trying to go for that corner again that second time. That shot was gone though before.
Knights up 15-14 coming in.
And you can see a frustrated Maurizio Salas. But he did try to go through 3 Silver Knights along those boards, and he thought he was fouled.
It's on for Bo. Slav centering in front. Can't connect with Millwood. Shot! A laser by Elenio. Another smooth finish, and it goes to the far post.
You know, as soon as Uba Parapovic played that ball across and it didn't hit Millwood and you saw Elenio there, you knew he was shooting it. And the Silver Knights, they were just hoping he could blast it the way that he did that side volley earlier, and he did it. Picture perfect smack by Corey Elenio right into the low corner. Right here, but look at how the Silver Knights are reading each other. Yelovach hits that ball behind him to Uba Parapovic, and a great ball off that corner board by Uba Parapovic, and Elenio. Just a one-time hit, again off the board. Really focused how he got his body over the ball, his knee over the ball, and just struck it right into that low corner. And I think you could feel that the Silver Knights are starting to pull away. If the Lancers don't get one back here soon, this game could be all but over.
3-point lead for the Silver Knights with just under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's ahead for Gary. Cut out by Petrera as he's doing the yeoman's work. Flies out of bounds. Now for a restart.
And the Lancers want it at the top of the D. The Lancers wanted it at the top of the D, and I don't think they're getting the call that they would have wanted, and I believe it's going to be a referee's timeout. As Sigic and Mark Paley are going to talk about it here.
They'll still keep it on that restart on the near side, despite the protest from the Lancers, including Doug Miller.
You know, and that's always about the intent of kicking the ball out of bounds in your defensive third. And the Lancers were saying that that was intentional. And I actually don't believe it was. I think it was just a deflection from when the Lancers hit the ball off the defender.
Play one of those interpretive rules if you go either way. But right now, the Knights in a good position, up 17-14 to 7:41 to go in the fourth quarter. If you're Tommy Tanner, how does this team finish it off?
They continue to play the way that they've been playing and don't change anything. I think the Lancers are playing a very good game against the Silver Knights right now, and just continue to what you're doing. Keep that momentum going the way you have. You've got the last 2 goals here. Keep that momentum going. Make sure nothing happens right here on this set piece. With Boughton and Doug Miller, you got Boughton's probably going to run over the ball, run into the corner. Doug Miller might play him into the corner and then run off it himself. And here you go.
Miller blocked by Millwood.
And that's very similar to the one that we just saw, right? Just a block by the defender.
No complaints for that to go at the top of the D. Now the heads are in front of O'Quinn's goal and somehow flies away. Edgar collects in front of the Silver Knights bench. Chip ahead. Toby controls. Little nod. Cutting across Miller. He goes wide for Neto. Creative feet, takes the shot. It's off the target, but Sotilli dives to his left and picks it up. 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Knights up by 3. Centering pass in front. A foul in the Lancers' favor. It goes for a dead ball situation for Syracuse to defend as the ball was heading centrally from Salas on a Domenico Vitale foul. Restart. Edgar loves that three-point blast today. He takes it, but it's blocked away.
And if I'm Edgar, I'd do the same thing.
Exactly.
I would absolutely do the same thing. Why not? You had a little bit of room to hit it again, and you're already two for 2 from there.
Feeling it offensively. 2 goals. Came into the game with just 1. Pass ahead. Smooth to Enrique. Cutting across, and now Myers is on the ball. It's back for Edgar, and he plays it for Cole. Another defender who scored in this ball game. He has 2. Shot on and in front. Oh, Quinn! How did he save that? Wow. Dargu was at the doorstep, but Brian O'Quinn shut the gate.
And that was great stuff by Jake Schindler to come up and to be able to bring that ball down and to get it to Jefferson like that. And again, I think Jefferson's got to swing with his left peg there. I mean, that ball's bouncing, swinging the left peg versus trying to flick it with your right, outside of your right foot. Great save by Brian O'Quinn, though.
An amazing save by O'Quinn, as it seemed as if Jefferson was right in on goal. Neto has it. The lollipop controls. Foot on the ball, and 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Knights up by 3. Getting stuck in their own defensive third, and they give it away. Schindler at the David Buster's logo. Chips it in for Miller. Toby collects on the pass that Dougie tried to center. Elenio. He'll slow it down.
Very smart by Elenio there. Slow it down just a little bit. Let's get the changes on. Once the attack wasn't on, he just slowed it down. That was very smart by Corey Elenio. Having a very good game today.
Chanchel trying to go for that diagonal pass, but it's headed away. And now the Lancers are on it. Behind the three-point line, it's now all the way back. LJ Papaleo doing some tough running and gets a deflection that goes out of bounds. On pass ahead, caressed by Salas. Myers. Now a reload for the Lancers. So Tilly will hold, and now a timeout for Rochester.
Well, we'll see. This is the time when you start thinking about the six-man attacker, and I think that's a good call there by Mark Santilli and Josh Reif. Get the six-man attacker out there, and usually it's Edgar who's going to be the guy in that role. And a good thing it's not Foskey, because I don't know how they would put the jersey over his head.
Might get stuck on the way, on the body. But that means Edgar will jump on as the extra attacker. He already has 2 goals on the game, 2 3-point blasts. But the difference has been Kennardo Forbes and Corey Elenio, who have scored the last 2 goals here in the fourth quarter to put the Knights up by 3. Forbes already has his hat trick. And Elenio has 2 goals. His first was brilliant. A volley laser into the top corner. And now after that timeout, the Lancers will have the ball in Edgar's paws. He's joined by Miller, Boughton, Fauski, Salas, and Luis Enrique. It's ahead for Miller. Now on for Enrique. Defended by Toby. Centrally going for the Mohican Warrior. Now to Edgar. Back to Fauski. Centrally to Gary. He rings it off of iron.
And up until this point, there's been some confusion out there with the Silver Knights in their defense. And there's always, I mean, they obviously have an extra man out there, but they've been really wide open. 2 guys open every single time, and Silver Knights just can't get it out. And that's another bad foul by Domenico Vitali.
Surprised he didn't get anything other than that foul right there. But I mean, another restart to defend.
And you got Maurizio Salas on top of this ball. Yeah, it's definitely a right footer, so that's good by Maurizio Salas.
Fauski gives up. Salas now. Miller.
And that's a broken up set play right there. Luckily for the Silver Knights.
It's on for Boughton. Cycling through Salas. Edgar. Edgar. Cuts back. Salas, lefty blast, and blocked away by Vitali. Chipped in for Boughton, but it's over the top and out of bounds. 2:31 left in the 4th quarter.
And that was a bad decision by Boughton right there. He should not have let that ball bounce.
Took a high hop, and it went out. Looks like Tommy Tanner will want the timeout. He'll take it, as it seems as if his defense is getting a little tired there defending. The Knights up 17-14 with that 2:31 left in the frame. It's been an impressive effort from Canardo Forbes today. He's got a hat trick.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely made a statement this year in the league with 66 points. Now jumps ahead, I believe, of Ian Bennett, depending upon what he did in his match with Missouri and Milwaukee.
Couldn't have done much. They just scored 4 points.
Yeah, so.
And he didn't. He had no points in that game.
So Canardo Forbes, number 2 in the league in scoring, the number 1 midfield in the league. Great season. For the Jamaican. Last year, 9 goals, 9 assists in 25 games. This year, 24 goals, 13 assists in 20 games. Tremendous effort. And I've only seen him shut out 1 game this season. At home.
Yeah. The thing is, if you ask Tommy Tanner before the year, he expected 50 points out of Canardo. He expected a comeback year for him. It's got to be great to be getting that 66. More than he expected.
Well, year 1, he had 3 goals, 3 assists. And, just learning the game.
On blast, ahead save by O'Quinn.
What a save.
Wow. That was a laser. 1:50 to go in the game. It's popped ahead, and now to Bo. Bo collects and gives up for Toby. 1:40 left in the 4th quarter. Down in for Millwood to collect. Scooped out by Salas. Edgar acting as the goalkeeper in that extra man attacker jersey. 1:30 left in the fourth. Salas brings it across the midline on a pass to Fauski.
And if you're the Lancers, you just be patient, hold on to the ball, work it.
In the goal! Wow, Enrique makes it a 1-point ball game. They were patient there, and they saw it go in between the legs of O'Quinn.
And I mean, the guy scoring today, Enrique with 1 goal, 2 assists on the season, gets his 2nd goal for the season. And Edgar, Enrique, and Cole each adding points to the season. And Tommy Tanner with another timeout, having his guys run 1 minute at a time. And now they got to really buckle down this last minute, because any points now puts the Lancers ahead.
It's starting to get into tense territory for Syracuse. They were up 3 points moments ago, but that goal by Enrique has the visiting fans up on their feet. A good crowd coming from Rochester to support their Lancers here in the Salt City. The final game of the throughway rivalry this year. So far, it's been dominated by Syracuse. It was a 4-1 advantage through the first 5 games, including a playoff clinching win 2 weeks ago against Rochester. But the Lancers did break a 10-game winning streak for Syracuse in early January. And all these games have been close. Another close one here with 1:10 to go in the fourth quarter. A minute left. Knights up by 1. Slav makes his move on the far corner, shadowed by Fauski. Goes behind his legs, and now Edgar takes the ball out of the box. That will be a dead ball situation. He forgot where he was.
He forgot who he was. Thought he was playing team handball for a second there. Even then, he took too many steps. 5 men in the wall. Wow.
5 men in the wall. All right. Edgar held the ball too long as he tried to pick his head up and hurl it out. He didn't get it out of his hands once he was out of that rectangle in front of his goal, the penalty area. The wall's backed up as it looks like they'll stay with that 5-man wall.
And this is so close right now. And Millwood.
Our post blocked away by Edgar.
What a great save by Edgar right there.
He remembered he was a goalie there.
Oh, yeah. Well, slide tackling save.
It's true. May not have used his hands. Ball ahead for the Lancers. Popped up by Chantel, and it goes out of bounds. On for a restart with 28 seconds left. The final game on the final day of play for the Major Indoor Soccer League in the regular season.
Oh, and Doug Miller was setting up for a side volley right there.
Chipped out for Slav. It's on for Canaro. Forbes! Up and just wide. 10 seconds to go. The Lancers get it ahead. It's Doug Miller. He's got 5. Trying to get the turn on Chantel. He can't get it. And that's that. 60 minutes of soccer have been played. And the Syracuse Silver Knights escape victors in their final MISL game. They move on to 12-8 All the Lancers drop to 6 and 14. Game 6 of the thruway rivalry goes to the Salt City.
And I think Canaro Forbes at the end wanted to really put a hole in the back of the net where all he had to do was just seal the deal, because, you know, anything could have happened there with Doug Miller. And I think that's one of those things where that is a learning moment right there again for Tommy Tanner with Canaro Forbes. You're making a statement, but we're in a situation where if that ball goes back to the other end, you got Doug Miller down there. And luckily for the Silver Knights, that ball was against the boards. Canaro Forbes should just place that one away, take it, 19-16, you're out of here. You know, that penalty gets called on Chantel in the corner.
That's true.
They've got a set piece, and set pieces, you got Doug Miller and Maurizio Salas on the turf. That's a situation where could be 18-17, and the Silver Knights are leaving here with a loss. So I think a moment